Hi, Taylor T. Carlson here, and over the past few decades, some of the best titles in independent and art house cinema have come from the Sony Pictures Classics label. I'm happy to announce that a lot of those movies have been brought together for a nice new box set. This is the Sony Pictures Classics 30 Years box set. I am going to unbox this set, show off what's inside, let you know if I recommend the set or not. So, there's a nice close-up of the front cover with some stills from the movies. Here's our other side. Here's the bottom of the insert card. There's the front of that. Here's the back of that card. Gives you all the MPAA ratings and so forth. We pull this off, and underneath there, a few more pictures of what's in the set. And now let's crack it open. This actually opens in a very unusual fashion. It folds open like so. If you look on here, there's this black magnetic part, so when you slide this back up, that attaches there magnetically, so that's actually pretty nice. If you look right here, you can see the movie spines. Then on the other side, same deal. So now we'll go through and I'll just pick out each movie individually and show them up. Now, I'm not going to get too terribly in-depth into each individual film. I might talk about them a little bit, but I'm not going to make this a super comprehensive movie review. This is just more of an unboxing for the set. First of all, we have Orlando starring Billy Zane and Tilda Swinton. The backs of these slipcovers all have critic quotes and some more pictures on them. Then underneath the slipcover, also, before I move on with the other movies, this does include a nice booklet. As usual with this sort of thing, I'm not going to go through every single page, but there are some nice words to be said in here, descriptions of the film, information. And then we actually have the Sony Pictures Classics catalog here, and I had no idea they'd put out so many films. So moving on, going through the set, next up we have the celluloid closet. This is the only movie in the set that's a documentary and not a narrative film, this being about LGBT representation in films. This came out in the mid-90s. And then here's underneath the cover. And these don't come with Blu-ray copies or digital copies, but this is just a general look of what the inside of each of these cases looks like. I'm not going to open up each case because they all pretty much look the same with pretty much the same art on the discs. So, yeah. Next we have The City of Lost Children. This is one of the movies I'd never seen prior to having this set, and it's an absolutely spectacular looking film with some great set pieces. It's like Tim Burton meets Terry Gilliam. And yes, each one of these does have its share of special features, as you can see. Next, we have SLC Punk. Probably the film I was most familiar with prior to getting this set, and one of the major reasons I wanted it. The films that are in this set are not available separately, and I think the inclusion of this movie is one of the catalysts for a lot of people purchasing it. Next, we have Run Lola Run. This is another one I'd actually seen prior to getting the set, and something of a personal favorite. No other movie quite like this one. It's been copied and parodied numerous times. Next, and probably the most famous film that's in this collection, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This movie was a massive success when it came out, and spawned a lot of films that imitated it, though none came close to this. And this is the only movie in the set that's also available separately, although this is a newer disc that adds Dolby Vision, whereas the older disc just had HDR10. Next we have The Devil's Backbone. Then we have Volver. This is one I hadn't seen prior to getting the set, but it's actually pretty solid. Next we have, and I hope I pronounced this right, Cynic Doge, New York, starring the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman. We then have Still Alice, starring Julianne Moore and Alec Baldwin. And the last film in the set is Call Me By Your Name. Yeah, interestingly, despite Call Me By Your Name getting a ton of Oscar nominations, the initial home video release was only Blu-ray and DVD. There was no 4K. I'm glad to see that's been righted with the release of this set. So you get 11 pretty solid films in here from the Sony Pictures Classics catalog. If you watch Amazon, sometimes you can find this set for pretty decent prices. I think I actually got this for about $140, which isn't too bad. I mean, that probably works out to roughly $10 to $11 a film, and there's some great stuff to be had here. I won't deny that not every single film in this set was my cup of tea, and I don't see myself going back to watch every single one of them anytime soon, although there are some real gems to be had here. Picture quality on just about all of the discs looks very good. They all have Dolby Vision, and they all look pretty natural. No unnecessary adjustments, modifications, artificial enhancing or sharpening, no noise reduction or anything like that. The only one that maybe looks a little rough is the celluloid closet, and that's mainly just because that uses a lot of archival clips from older films that are, in some cases, unrestored or not in the best shape. Each film has its own share of bonus features. I won't get into each and every specific one, and I haven't even watched every bonus feature myself yet. There are a ton of them here. Probably the only real complaint I have with this set is it doesn't include Blu-ray copies or digital copies. Sony put out those Columbia Classics collections, and those had both digital copies and Blu-ray discs. I don't see why they couldn't do it for this Sony Pictures Classics collection, because that would have been nice not only for the 4Ks, but also maybe to get remastered Blu-ray discs for these movies. In either event, any fan of cinema should take a look at what's in here and see if it's something they'd like to own. Again, with the exception of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, none of these movies are available separately, so something to keep in mind if you're a fan of any of these movies and maybe considering them. What do you think is the best film ever released by Sony Pictures Classics? Is it in this set? Do you think there'll be a volume 2? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos, and make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. See you next time.